P. Diddy is a dodgy man with a very sketchy past. There are a lot of allegations against him at the moment, and for many years, fans have questioned a lot of things he's done in public, like his weird relationships with artists. And for many years, fans have questioned a lot of things he's done in public, but are now horrified at some of the things being exposed about him by former employees and people who used to be close to him, people who have witnessed what's gone down behind the scenes. Diddy allegedly paid the people who worked for him and the people close to him hush money, major dollar signs, to keep quiet. Now let's discuss how Usher first met Diddy and all the allegations surrounding their warped friendship. So Usher rose to fame at a very young age. At the age of 12, his mother put him in local singing competitions before catching the attention of a music A&R from LA Face Records. He released his self-titled debut album Usher in 1994 and rose to fame in the late 1990s with the release of his second album My Way in 1997. And it's also important to note that P. Diddy was the co-executive producer of his first record. When Usher was rising to fame at a young age, he was then apparently sent to live with Puff Daddy, his apparent mentor, at the age of 15. This was so that he could be quote-unquote mentored. So Usher was exposed to a lot at a young age. However, when interviewed about this, he didn't say that it corrupted him, more so that he was just exposed to the lifestyle at a super young age.
Were you the only kid at the Puffy camp or the Puffy flavor camp? Were you the youngest kid there? Like all these other people, like Biggie Smalls was around this and that. These are grown men.
Yeah.
What, you're the only one.
Biggie wasn't there. I lived with Puff. Big was a part of. He was his artist.
Right.
But no, I was the only kid there. Yeah, I was 15 years old.
And when you see sexuality going down, all these hot chicks and all this stuff, so in a way, it's intimidating, right? You're too young for that.
They weren't there for me.
Now, Usher had moved to New York at 14 years old to collab with Diddy, but apparently it wasn't all work. According to sources, Diddy used to take Usher to wild parties at 14 years old. Now, it's not just people coming out and exposing Diddy that's shocking. It turns out that Diddy has also accidentally exposed himself on multiple occasions in the past. During a Ustream of an event Kevin Hart hosted, Diddy let it slip that he and Usher used to sleep in the same bed, and he tried to backtrack what he'd said, but it was too late. Unfortunately, this video has been deleted from the internet. It's hard to find, but it's definitely out there though, I'm sure. But the transcript from this Ustream revealed Usher walks in, then Diddy says, "That's my brother right there. From day one we used to wake up and, I mean, damn, pause. But like, check this out." Kevin Hart starts laughing from apparent surprise. This as Puff comes back from his pause, rambling about wrestling with Usher. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? This is my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off to the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up earlier than me, and now he's one of the richest stars in the world and I love him. Now what's really screwed up, I mean, if you didn't think that things could get any worse, apparently the record label that had signed Usher at his young age wanted to cut him off and no longer work with him after he went through puberty because his voice changed. Usher begged to stay, but the only way he was going to be able to keep his record label at the time was if he went to Puffy's flavor camp. So yeah, that was around the time that he was sent to New York to live with Diddy, and then you know, of course, the rest is history. So it was very toxic that Usher was pressured like this at such a young age, and it makes you question where his parents were in all this, and the fact that they were okay with their 14-year-old living with a producer. So this Puff Daddy camp has obviously been exposed for being very disturbing, but even now as an adult, Usher doesn't see it being that big of a problem.
You're a young kid, you're focused on music. Screw the lifestyle at that point.
Well, I didn't know that it was a lifestyle, by the way, at the time. I just thought this is really
Couldn't have corrupted you, though?
This is what it means to be an adult?
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
I mean, it could have
This
really
is what
made
it means
you...
to be a star. Like, this is what your lifestyle looks like. I mean, and by the way, I never quite experienced anything like that, you know, and I think that to some extent it was to his benefit to keep me around because I was helping, you know, it's kind of like a rob Peter to pay Paul type thing when you build an artist. But, you know, he was... He wasn't disciplinary. Nah, he was letting me be a young man.
Usher saw a lot at a very young age. He was exposed to a hell of a lot, and fans are saying that this is super disturbing, and that clearly this camp was just called a camp to mask what was really going on behind closed doors. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Usher said, "Puff introduced me to a totally different set of shit." Specifically, said Usher. So hot in the industry, man. While he was in New York, he lived at Puffy's house in Scarsdale. There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. So now that we've briefly discussed what's happened with Usher and Diddy allegedly, now let's discuss the allegations surrounding Diddy and Justin Bieber, because there's a lot and it's really sad. Over on Reddit, people were discussing the conspiracy about how Justin Bieber got famous thanks to Usher, but Usher was exploited by Diddy, who he'd eventually introduced Justin to. The whole reason why Justin Bieber became famous is because he was taken under Usher's wing. Usher was supposedly exploited by Diddy at 13/14 years old, and they think Usher brought Justin into the circle to get used as well. Justin was discovered at the same time Usher was. The biggest red flag is LA Reid helped Usher create a music label that only has Justin as the sole artist. The only stars getting noticed are connected through Hillsong's church, and the young boys get in exchange for fame. Let me hear your thoughts.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, over the next 48 hours.
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking.
When fans recently saw this video circulating that accused Diddy of grooming Justin, someone had said in the comments, "Crazy to read comments from 13 years ago versus now in 2023. With Diddy being exposed to the things he's done, the red flags are all in this video, and we all looked past it. I'm sorry, Justin." Another user wrote, "This is so scary. One day Diddy will finally get exposed." This whole situation is being referred to as a cycle of abuse, with Usher first and then with Justin. And what we've covered today is only surface level. There's a lot more being exposed at the moment, and it appears more and more people who used to be close to Diddy are now coming forward and exposing him. But anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments, and how you feel about Justin Bieber now, considering what he was growing up around.